Good afternoon, Year 3. Today in Learn Together, we'll be focusing on perseverance, which is the value of the month. Today we'll be looking at zones of regulation. You might have learnt about these last term. Let's have a look at the different zones. So blue zone is moving slowly. This is when you're bored, sad or tired. Red zone is when we're out of control and we might be feeling mad, angry or terrified. Yellow zone is when we're frustrated, nervous, excited and silly. This is when we still have some control. Or there's green zone, and that is where we want to be all of the time. This is when we are ready to learn. We feel happy, focused and calm. So task 1, you need to just think about which of these zones you have been in before and maybe think of an example of why you were in that zone. So maybe what made you feel angry, what made you feel sad. Have a little think about that. What's the size of your problem? The size of your reaction should match the size of your problem. So when we have a tiny problem, we should have a tiny reaction. And obviously, the bigger the problem, the bigger you'll react. We'll be looking at some ways of coping with those problems, of managing our emotions a little bit later. But the next slide, we're going to think about triggers. A trigger is something that moves you from your green zone. So for this task, I would like you to draw a picture of your triggers on the worksheet. Once we know our triggers, we can learn tools to control them. So remember, we will all have different triggers. They can be big things or small things, and there are no wrong answers. You just need to think about what takes you out of your green zone. Okay, so the next slides, I'm just going to go through them, and it's some different breathing techniques. So you might want to try them out as I go through the slides. So the first one is a hawk hug. And you can read the instructions and pause the video here. The next one is fire hands. So for this one, you just rub your palms together really quickly. And I want you to notice the sensations in your hands and arm muscles. Focus on the strength and the heat you're creating. When you feel the warmth, close your eyes and in silence, place your hands gently at the top of your head. I want you to really think about the transfer of warm energy between your hands and head. So pause the video here and try this one. Bubble breath. So this one's fun. Pretend you're holding a bubble wand in your hand. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath for a moment and then slowly breathe out. And you can visualize shimmery bubbles floating in the sky. So pause the video here to try this one. Balloon belly. Pretend your belly is like a balloon. Take in a slow, strong breath. And notice how the balloon gets bigger and inflates and fills with air. And slowly breathe out. Pay attention to how the balloon gets smaller as it deflates. Take a few quiet moments to practice slowly inflating and deflating your belly. Pause the video here to practice. Buzzing bee. This one you need to take a few natural breaths. Close your eyes and mouth and breathe in through your nose. Keep your lips lightly sealed. When you exhale, hum the sound of the letter M. Mm. Notice how the vibrations feel in your mouth. Continue humming the M sound until you feel the need to inhale again. And for this one, you keep repeating the buzzy bee breath several times. Hand over heart. Place one hand over your heart. Place the other hand over your belly. Zoom your attention on breathing and to the sensations in the space between your two hands. Do this for a few moments. Move your hand from your belly to your forehead. Focus on your breath and the space in between. Place both hands on your heart and tell yourself something kind and compassionate, such as, I am lovable, or everything will be okay. Bunny sniff. Sit up tall and like a bunny. When you breathe in through your nose, take 3 quick, short breaths, or sniffs. Pause for a moment. Slowly breathe out through your mouth. Do the bunny sniff several times and pay attention to the energy in your body as you breathe. Hot cocoa. Pretend you are holding a mug of hot cocoa cradled between both of your hands. Bring the mug near your face and take a slow breath in. And imagine you're smelling delicious, yummy, comforting chocolate. Slowly, with gentleness, exhale and pretend to blow the steaming hot cocoa to cool it down. And repeat this a few times. Rocks and socks. Take a deep, strong breath in and make fists with your hands. Squeeze your hands with so much force, it's as if your strength can transform your fists into solid, indestructible rocks. When you can't stand it any longer, exhale and release your fists. Let go of all of that tension and relax as if your hands and arms have turned into dangling socks. Try turning other parts of your body, such as your shoulders, legs, and feet, into rocks. So you might want to pause the video here to try this one. Okay, the next one, roller coaster. Slowly trace your left hand with your right index finger, starting where your hand and wrist meet. As you trace each finger, breathe in as your finger climbs up and breathe out as your finger slides down. So you're running your fingers onto your hand. Pretend your finger is a slow roller coaster going up and down. Remember, this is a slow roller coaster. So your roller coaster car moves very slowly. After you've traced your entire hand, switch hands and try again. Ocean waves. Cover your ears with your hands. Close your eyes and take long and slow in-breaths and out-breaths. Zoom your attention to the sound that your breathing makes and visualize a peaceful ocean. The waves rolling in and out. Okay, this one is all about our senses. What do you see? Look around you and notice what surrounds you. What are 3 things you can see? Tell yourself the names of the 3 things. Look at the colour, the shape, the lines, and take a long, strong breath in and out. Say to yourself, thank you, dear eyes, for letting me see. This one is a really good distraction for when you're not in zone green. When you're not in green zone, this is a brilliant distraction because you'll start to absorb your environment around you and your breath will naturally slow down so you can go back to green zone. What I feel. Again, this one's all about our senses. So when you're sitting comfortably, feel yourself sink into the chair. What are the 3 things you're physically feeling, you're touching? Tell yourself the names and really feel the textures and the movement and the temperatures. Take a long, slow breath in and out and say to yourself, thank you, dear body and skin, for letting me feel. And this is the last one. What I hear. Close your eyes and write down, think of 3 things you can hear. Tell yourself the names of these things and really listen to their sounds and noises and volume and tone. Take a slow breath in and out and say, thank you, dear ears, for letting me hear. So all of those slides were some different strategies to help you with your breathing and help you manage your emotions. The next task is to draw around your hand and choose your top 5 strategies that will help you manage your emotions. And you can decorate your hand. Here's an example of one on the left. You might choose some breathing strategies from the slides. You might have some other techniques that help you that you already use. Again, it's all about you. Okay, and that's your tasks for the day. So I hope you get on with those okay. And I look forward to seeing all of your work on Seesaw.